Hello friends, welcome back to Living a Robust Life where we discuss all things health. My name is Elsie and I am a holistic health and life coach. If you're new here, please take a minute to comment below and tell me a little bit about yourself. In the last few weeks, we've been discussing Stephen Coveys' book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and we got done with the section on personal victory, and we're moving on to the section about public victory. Stephen Covey introduces this section by talking about the paradigm of interdependence. And in this case, a paradigm is just an idea that helps us to expand our view or way of thinking. He starts by reminding us that for us to be able to win in the public space, we have to first have won in the private space, which basically means that you have to have a solid foundation, and that solid foundation begins by knowing and improving yourself. Once you've achieved self-mastery and self-discipline, then you're able to succeed in relationship with others. Achieving self-mastery and self-discipline begins with, first of all, knowing your center and then doing the work to be able to consistently know what is important and do the thing that is important as opposed to the thing that is urgent or a distraction. He continues in this section by introducing the idea of emotional bank accounts, and an emotional bank account is basically the same thing as a regular bank account, but you're depositing emotions and also withdrawing emotions. So the deposits are the positive emotions that people experience from interacting with you, and the withdrawals are the negative emotions that happen also through interacting with you. He suggests that relationships require more deposits than withdrawals, and that deposits can come in the form of courtesy, kindness, honesty, and integrity. And that withdrawals are when you do the opposite of those things. So if you're not kind, if you're not honest, and if you have no integrity, then you're not depositing. Instead, you are withdrawing. He continues to tell us 6 different ways that we can deposit into other people's lives. And the first way is by understanding other people. And understanding comes from trying to see things from other people's perspectives. And he gives an example of parents and their children, and how sometimes parents may want one thing for their children, then their children don't want the same things that the parents want, and how if the parents continue insisting on getting their own way, that really just damages the relationship, as opposed to when the parents try really hard to understand why their children don't want to do the thing that they want them to do, and show their children that they would love them anyway, irrespective of whether or not they do their parents' bidding. That turns into a deposit because the parents have gone out of their way to understand their child. The next thing he suggests is attending to the little things. And in this case, the little things could be as simple as sending someone a text message of encouragement in the middle of the day for no reason at all. When you do things like that, that deposits into someone's emotional bank account. And in the event that you have friction, this person is likely to give you grace because they know that you do try to deposit more often than you withdraw. The next thing he talks about is keeping your commitments. And keeping commitments is basically just doing the thing that you said you're going to do when you said you're going to do it. If you make a promise to someone to do something, keep your promise. That's all it boils down to. Keep your word to other people. The next thing is clarifying expectations. In this section, he expounds on how sometimes we communicate one thing and the people that we're communicating to understand it differently from the way we thought that they would understand it. And he encourages that we should go out of our way to clarify what our expectations are as we're communicating, so that these misunderstandings occur less frequently. Then he also talks about showing personal integrity, and I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with, myself included, and that's being the same person in every situation, no matter what the circumstances are. So for example, if you're in an office and you're having a conversation about a colleague that you and this person that you're talking to are feeling slighted, or it's something that you feel very passionately about, then rather than just keeping it between yourselves and not going to whoever it is that this topic concerns, talking to your coworker and going to this other person and presenting this person with the opportunity to share their point of view, rather than talking behind their back, because that's really what it is. When you talk behind someone else's back and you say one thing, and then when you're with this person, you're not able to tell them exactly what it is you and whoever it is were discussing about them, then it basically shows this person that you participated in the gossip with that you can't be trusted, and that the same way that you are treating this person that isn't in the room with you, that you could possibly do the same thing with them. And considering I've been on the receiving end and I've also participated in similar scenarios, I can attest to the fact that that doesn't feel good at all. And that's definitely something that I'm working on, being able to have the courage to actually say to people that, you know what, we shouldn't be having this conversation without person X. And because I understand your feelings and I understand how this is affecting you, then we should go and have conversation with person X and tell them exactly what you just said to me. And that's definitely something that shows this person that you're talking to that you not only have personal integrity with them, but that you are willing to have the same amount of integrity with other people. So I would encourage you to work on showing personal integrity. The last one is apologizing sincerely when you withdraw. And that basically means that if you know that you are on the wrong, acknowledging first of all that you are on the wrong, which first means that you're being introspective and that you are understanding that, you have done something that you should probably not have done, and you're being proactive by getting a solution, which in this case is telling the person that you wronged how exactly you believe you wronged them, as opposed to making them feel like they have to bear the burden for the wrongdoing, which is something that we tend to do when we're apologizing. We do the "I'm sorry, but." Rather than doing the "I'm sorry, but," taking responsibility for your actions, owning it, and stating how you intend to do better next time is something that I believe we should all work on. In conclusion, Stephen Coveys says that loving other people unconditionally begins with loving yourself unconditionally. And loving yourself unconditionally means that you understand your flaws and you're willing to work on your flaws and not necessarily seek perfection, but just figure out how to grow and how to change, so that when you're interacting with other people, you're interacting from a position of growth rather than a position of lack. And then that also gives them permission to do the same for you. It shows them that there is a better way to be in the world, and that we should all be seeking to do better and be better at all times. I hope that as we continue discussing the subject of public victory, that you will continue to do the work on yourself, and let me know how that is going for you. As always, your health matters, your life matters. Go ahead and do one thing this week that will make your life a little bit better. Love and light, Elsie.